Hey everybody, it's Joy. Hello to returning friends and welcome if you are new. If you enjoy today's video, let me know by hitting that like button or leaving me a comment. If you'd like to enjoy more of my videos, please subscribe and ring that little bell. Now on to today's video. Welcome back to Mordalgo, where I'm using the concept of the 15-minute city to build a pedestrian utopia in Cities Skylines. Last week, we built these 4 micro neighborhoods with absolutely no through traffic with lots of pedestrian connectivity. Now, you see this industrial area off to the side here. It's there for game mechanics. It is not going to stay there long, and that whole area will be redeveloped, but we need it for now. However, today I am so excited. Not only are we going to do an additional 4 micro neighborhoods, we are also going to bring in public transport and we are going to design our town square. It's going to be solely for the pedestrians. I am so excited for this. Let's get started. I thought it might be a good time while I'm laying out more of our micro neighborhoods, because now that you guys have seen my kind of pattern with that for this particular area of our city, I thought it might be a good time to go over the 4 key characteristics of a 15-minute city. So number 1 is proximity. Things must be close. And really, as I move forward in this build, I want to get beyond just thinking about the 3 zones, right? Living, shopping, working. I want to push beyond that and think about how to use buildings in multi-purpose ways. I want to be thinking about community centers, co-working spaces. I want to think about different types of healthcare like physical therapy or alternative medicine. I want to think about parks and open spaces. Of course, that's a given. That's going to be really important. But I want to think about transitional housing and affordable housing. I want to think about, you need to have a dentist and an eye doctor. You need to have the salon, the barbershop, the nail salon. I want to think about a hardware store, potentially a nursery, your vet's office, animal shelters, nonprofits. I want to think about, where people go to worship. All of these things I want to kind of be mindful for as we move forward in this build, and just really try to use the buildings that come in Cities Skylines in interesting ways. And that may just mean changing the name on the building. I did that in episode 1, where I took the other elementary school and made it a middle school. So I think there's a lot of opportunity to be creative with the tools that are available in CS to really help with that first rule of proximity, and really, again, just thinking beyond our different zoning that comes with the game. Okay, I think we're off to a really good start today. Before we dive in more, I just want to do a little bit of detailing and get one of these little corners done up, and then I'll be able to do the other one a little later when we do some detailing, but I just want to jump in now and do a little bit. All right, guys, we are down by the waterfront. I'm using these awesome pedestrian roads I found on the workshop. They're just really cool. I love it. Just actually creates that pedestrian promenade feel that I like. They're very wide, and I think it's just going to be great. So this area is going to turn into a public park entertainment area down by the water at some point. But today, this is where I'm going to put off to the side our tram depot, and then we are going to run our tram right up the middle of the city. I'm so excited. All right, guys, I was so excited to get this tram line in because then I can actually design and lay out the rest of the town square, which is the thing I'm most excited to do today. As you can see, I really struggled with trying to get these connections in, but thank goodness for Move It. It came in and saved the day, and I was able to get this looking how I pictured it in my mind. I thought I had left enough space by doing 5 tiles, but I probably should have left more space, but I think it ended up working out pretty well, and I really like the end result. Now, for just temporarily, I'm pulling the tram into our temporary industrial area to help people get to work, because it's going to be a little bit till we can redo this area. So I just started there just to get a tram line going, and by the end of the episode, we actually fixed that and actually create a nice little loop around the whole town. You'll see as that comes together. But now that I had my tram up and running and going, I felt accomplished enough to dive in and detail our town square. Look at how cute this is already looking, and look at all the pedestrian activity already. This was really exciting for me. So I put in a second clinic, which you might be like, we don't need that there. But what I did is I made one clinic like an emergency clinic and the other one like the town dock. So just kind of, again, focusing on multi-uses, making sure that everyone has what they need within a 15-minute walk. So I'm going to get in and detail this whole entire town square and really make it come to life. I hope you enjoy this little section, and then we'll get back to building. We're actually going to build out 2 more we're going to build out 2 more micro neighborhoods today, and we're going to extend the tram all the way around our city, so you'll want to hang out for that. But yeah, this time we're going to have a little detail session right in the middle of the episode. I hope you guys enjoy it. I will catch you on the other side. Oh, and also when we come back, we're going to go over the other 3 characteristics for a 15-minute city. I didn't forget about those, so we're going to go over those in just a minute. I'll see you guys on the other side. Just jumping in here real quick to let you know what this area is. It may look really plain and strange and barren, but actually I make a few of these around the city, and basically they're small dog parks. I see them as open space. You can come run your dog, and again, I put a few of these around the city, so I just kind of wanted to explain what they were so you understood the purpose, because they're pretty barren minus some garbage cans and benches. So but yeah, I see them as miniature dog parks. I am just letting all these local and organic and produce buildings pop up so this area fills out, and then we can finish detailing. I think our town square has come together so perfectly. I love the addition of pulling some local and organic produce around the outskirts and inside the square. We'll have one more piece to add later, but let's move on. Okay, moving on, we need to think about connectivity and adding in more tram stops throughout the neighborhood. So I'm just pulling through some really simple pedestrian paths to go all the way from our neighborhood through our little commercial zone to the tram road. And then I'm going to do a little detailing, of course, but the cool thing, oh, this looks so cool. Wait till you guys see this. So I pull in the zoo path next to the tram road, and then we use our magical landscape dust and add palm trees. Just wait. Look at this. Look at this. This is so cute. I am thoroughly obsessed. So I do this all along and bring this palette all the way through and add in some local and organic produce. It turns out really good. I can't wait for you guys to see. Okay, while I'm waiting for the local and organic produce to fill in, I come back to our town square to put in the final piece, which is our park main gate. I will use the paint tool and create a large park area throughout our whole city, but I just want to give this entrance a little bit of importance, a little bit of love here, and just zhuzh it up a little bit, as this will be our main entrance to our pedestrian square. All right, we are back to do our other little corner. Remember, we did one at the very beginning here, so we're just gonna pull in, same thing, do a little gazebo here, give this area just a little bit of love before we move on. All right, guys, this is really starting to come together. Look at how cute this is. I am so obsessed with this little tool that we can put any tree we want on path or roads. Thoroughly obsessed. Okay, we've got our other little corner here. I'm going to plop the library down here, just give a little detail, a little love. On the opposite side, I put the cemetery earlier in the episode. So again, really keeping these little corners in these micro neighborhoods full of useful services, easy to walk to. And I think this is such a cute little spot for our library. So I'm just going to zhuzh this up, and then we will get on to the rest of the build today. I'm really excited. Okay, in between these additional spaces, we're gonna just create a lovely little, more recreational type walk through in between these micro neighborhoods. Although just like the trams, we will be connecting them up with paths. So while I get these put in, I thought we would move on to number 2 in the list of key characteristics for the 15-minute city. Okay, number 2 is diversity. So land uses must be mixed to provide a wide variety of urban amenities nearby. This kind of goes back to what we were talking about with proximity to things. However, we're really going to be moving forward, mixing our zoning much more than we have in this initial space. I kind of have everything separated right now for these micro neighborhoods. Once we have office zoning, that's going to change the game a lot. Additionally, we're going to be mixing in our industrial, mixing in our parks, universities, really keeping things tight knit so that everyone can easily, within 15 minutes, walk or bike to all the things they need. Additionally, with diversity in land uses, we're also going to be focusing on making sure we're providing affordable housing and public services. That's just as important as making sure there's a place for people to co-work nearby. We also want to make sure there's an affordable place for them to live. Okay, on to expansion. I'm going to map out a few more of these micro neighborhoods, and we're also going to be able to pull our tram through and pull a boardwalk all the way along the waterfront, which I'm very excited about. But let's go into number 3, density. There must be enough people to support a diversity of businesses in a compact area. This is truly where high density, when we get that, is going to come into play. But we're going to have to be really selective, because everything I've read about the 15-minute city, they are aiming towards keeping things within a 3 to 4 story. They want to keep people close to the street. You want people connected to the community, and you don't want a bunch of high rises. You do want it to feel like a warm, inviting place to live. So by really keeping even a good amount of density, but also keeping it close to the street, you can accomplish both of those things. So as we continue to build out this area and really fill in all the needs of the community, we're not going to have enough workers for jobs because of our density. So once we get high density, we will be able to redevelop and really make this a humming place. And that's when truly our tram system of this higher mode of transportation is really going to come into play. Because as of now, you can walk or bike anywhere in this small area, but as we develop out, the public transport is going to be really important key to make sure we're allowing people to transfer, to different parts of the city easily, even though they'll have everything that they need within a 15-minute walk or bike ride. All right, now that we've got our tram going all the way around, I'm just going to pull through some of our pedestrian connections here, and then we're going to work on our second little town square area down here. Okay, so I'm bringing in two clinics again. We've got one, we're gonna make the dentist. This other one's gonna be the eye doctor. And then we're gonna pull in, I actually end up pulling the gymnasium in here, and we make this the chiropractor slash, physical therapist, rehab center. Can serve a lot of purposes. Okay, and then we're gonna add in some police and fire to help service this side of the community. And then we're going to tuck our first post office down here in the corner. It will be wonderful for the entire community. And then we're going to pull through our pedestrian pathway. All right, well, we're doing some laying down of these paths, a little bit of detailing around this neighborhood. Let's cover number 4 on the characteristics of a 15-minute city. So number 4 is ubiquity. This falls into what we were just talking about, making sure that there is affordable housing, that it's accessible, and these places are just so common that they're for everybody. Right now in the United States, there's many places that might be somewhat sort of classified as a 15-minute city, but you couldn't afford to live there. Highly desirable, walkable neighborhoods are expensive. And that's why this project is so fun for me, because I get to create a place that I think should be for everybody and that everyone should have access to. And I don't know, there's just something really fun about being able to create your own magical space in Cities Skylines. And honestly, it just should be this way for everybody. I really believe in the concept of the 15-minute city. I believe that it just creates happiness and community, and we all could use more of that. All right, guys, we're making our second little dog park in our city. I love making these. They're just so fun, and they can be really simple, but I think it just brings a lot to a community. Okay, time for some higher education. We are gonna put one of these little college buildings down. This is gonna be perfect for the 15-minute city concept because we can place these just about anywhere, and they do provide higher education for our population. So this is gonna be great. You can easily walk or bike here or take the tram. Yeah, I am super excited. I am going to give this a little detailing. Again, make it feel like a place of importance, kind of create a teeny tiny mini campus area here, really small. And yeah, and then we will finish up the rest of this kind of secondary town square area. All right, guys, thanks for staying with me to the end. This was the last little thing I wanted to get accomplished today. I played whack-a-mole for a while. I got the assets in that I wanted. I'm just going to detail this area, and we're going to call it for today. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all your support and feedback. It has meant the world to me. Next week, we're going to be doing some naming, which will be really fun. We are going to build our entertainment park boardwalk area, and we are going to work on our industry as well. So I hope you all have a joyful day, and I'll catch you next time.